Joining us now with reaction, Republican Florida Congressman Brian Mast. Congressman, thank you for joining us. Right guy at the right time. Can we just roll this soundbite for our folks so we can see when he was asked, is Putin a war criminal? Take a listen. Yeah, there you go. So Congressman, the President of the United States now calls Putin a war criminal. What's the ripple effect of that? I'm sure the Kremlin's heard about that.
I think the ripple effect is very little at this moment. There was not much conviction behind him saying Putin is a war criminal. He answered it, and immediately you saw what you see most of for Joe Biden. You saw the back of his head, and he walked away. He wasn't willing to expound on it or say why or what the consequences should be. Would there be a Putin version of Nuremberg trials or other things? Those questions weren't answered. If we can go back for a moment to everything that you were just talking about leadership. And I'm going to tell you something very important about what your nation, your country, and your government is not doing. You saw the applause in the auditorium after Zelensky spoke. Right after that, the screen went blank. Everybody got up and they went their own ways. And you know what's not happening in government later today or tomorrow or the rest of this week? Your members of your Foreign Affairs Committee that I sit on and the Senate Foreign Relations Committee or the whole of House of Representatives and Senate, they're not getting together to say, hey, what about everything that Zelensky said? Will we support in Congress and Senate and House? Will we support giving Zelensky jets? Is there a red line for the United States of America with chemical weapons or anything else? And this hasn't happened from the beginning of the war. Your government does not collaborate, and it is negligent in planning the foreign affairs of our country.
You know, Congressman, I went back and I looked up the Hague Conventions and Geneva Conventions. I looked up, crimes of war or criminal activity in war. You're not allowed to kill someone or provide no quarter for someone who's surrendering. We just saw the Russians blow away a couple of people. There's another video of Russians killing 9 people who are waiting in line for bread, clearly civilians, destroying civilian property. Forget killing them, destroying civilian property. These are war crimes and bioweapons, as you point out. He's clearly violated the Geneva and the Hague Conventions and the Geneva Conventions as far as war criminals. So what do we do about that, sir?
You go out there and you take note of that. But, going back, using that reference of the Nuremberg trials, you can't plan the Nuremberg trials while you're in the middle of planning D-Day. Right now, there is still a conflict going on. There's a war going on. You have government leaders across many governments talking about whether we are on the precipice of World War III or even a thermonuclear war. That has to be addressed first. His nuclear posturing, his removal from power, his removal from Bahrain, his nuclear demilitarization, demilitarized zones that need to happen along all Russian borders. These are all things that need to happen before you get to the point of being able to deal with the fact that he is a war criminal.
Congressman, I have about a minute or so, or a little under a minute. Just tell us, the 2 big issues are, should we be bringing those MiG-29s to Ukraine and no-fly zone? Should we be protecting a no-fly zone? What are your thoughts? You have extensive military experience.
I believe we should be giving them the weapons, the jets that they want, not just big 29s. Let's give a quick tactical example. That big 40-mile column of tanks and armament that Speaker Pelosi was rumbling her way through. Imagine what we could have done to that with one squadron of A-10s and their 30-millimeter Gatling gun on the front of that. We could have destroyed the entire column in an afternoon. It does matter to give them the air power that they need. I do believe that there should be a no-fly zone enforced. I believe that should be enforced by the European nations, not just American F-35s, but Turkish jets, German jets, French jets, UK jets. Let them go out there and show the strength that the EU will have in this fight.
Yeah. All right. I'll leave it right there. Congressman, by the way, thank you for your service, my friend. Congressman Brian Mast, thank you.